In memoriam of Grant Imahara, MythBusters died July 13, 2020. What are some of your best memories of him? He responded to my comment on a mutual friend's Facebook post to say of my explanation of hydrophilic tendencies that I couldn't have said it better myself. It made me feel so smart and validated. And pretty starstruck, too, that this science legend would take the time to comment on something so mundane. That's super cool. Do you still have the explanation, by chance? I built a robot to respond to your comments. If this doesn't work, I will eat my multi-toolkit. It didn't work. He went over what they got wrong, and then said, and I get to choose how I eat my multi-toolkit. Maybe deep-fried, with a little bit of powdered sugar. I also recall when they were testing how many times you could fold a piece of paper. Grant opted to try it using tracing paper, which was still technically paper, and Tori teased him for cheating. I loved how his solution was always building a robot. Whenever he had an idea, you could tell the next words were going to be, "We're going to build a robot." Edit. I just remembered they were trying to get either the speed or the force of a katana swing. Tori and Carrie just went for it, but Grant squatted and took deep breaths and genuinely looked like a ninja preparing for a mission. And I can't tell if it was a bit or what. He replied to a tweet my then small son and I had drafted together after watching a MythBusters episode. Made our week. What was the tweet? They were testing agitated driving versus relaxed driving. Grant and Tori would drive through a closed course in an abandoned suburb while relaxed in again. While agitated, they were testing whether angry driving makes you use more gas. Before the relaxed test, they got nice massages and then engaged in a relaxing activity. Tori watched Blade Runner. Grant, his relaxing activity was petting puppies, and he was just ecstatic when he first laid eyes on the puppies. A man who gets that excited about puppies is someone with a kind heart. Every time there was an explosion, just the sheer look of pure joy and excitement on his face. He was like a little kid with a new toy every episode. You could just tell he genuinely enjoyed what he did, how he did it, and the overall experience he could share with his co-host, friends, as well as educating people around the world. He had the golden heart of a child who loved to blow things up. He will be missed. Less than 3. Yeah, he really seemed to enjoy every minute of it. Man, I'm going to miss him. One of my favorite reactions of his was when they were testing whether playing dead or thrashing around will prevent sharks from swimming around you. When he was the person who would be thrashing around, he freaked out majorly when something touched his leg. My main memory of him was all of the awesome robots he built in the show. I was really into robotics at the time, and still am, and watching him build all of these awesome robot creations like the one they used to try to curve bullets or the full-sized RC bus. Rip Grant. You will be missed greatly in the science community. The lie detector test. Have you ever wanted to make a female robot? When he said no, his readings were off the charts. The best part about it is that if that would have been a request for the show, he would have been the man for the job. His response could have easily been, yes, and she would be awesome, and the lie detector would have been truth. Single quote. Absolute best moment, bar none. His facial expression clinched it. Him smelling Adam's feet and breath for science, and then laughing every single time. I liked his laugh. Rip Robot Builder Imahara. I just realized what a great name for a spaceship would be as tribute. I think I'm going to tweet at James Corey to designate a ship the Imahara in whatever future Expanse novel will allow for it. It was infectious, for sure. I can still hear his laugh. I had no idea this happened until just now. That breaks my heart, because I grew up loving MythBusters, and I loved watching the build team do science. Honestly, the whole show was just fun to watch and educational. Grant seemed like a fun guy, and you could tell that he loved his job. He will absolutely be missed. I don't have any specific memories of him, but I have tons of memories of watching MythBusters as a kid. I still love it. A few months ago, he built an animatronic Baby Yoda to take to children's hospitals. He used plans that were made available for free, then donated a bunch of toys to a Glendale fire station's toy drive in gratitude. I donated a few toys. I do not make electrical engineer money lol. To my local fire station's toy drive in gratitude to him. His joy, his absolute joy in learning and crafting and explaining, in education and in the world. And the absolute brotherly love that he showed everybody. And the way he would get so excited when they would dress up in costumes. James Bond episode, pirate episode, etc. I liked knowing that all of them were still out in the world creating and doing good, and now one of them is gone. Not to rain on your parade, but Jesse Combs from MythBusters also passed tragically. Oh, I just found this out, sad face. He was fun and clever on MythBusters, but I especially enjoyed his work on BattleBots. What a shame. He was really creative, skilled, and had a decent bit of life left to go. F 2020. Thanks. I will always remember him from BattleBots first. I genuinely felt for him every time they used him as a guinea pig on MythBusters. The only one who got seasick. The only one who tests cures for seasickness. He also built the most complicated parts of the rigs, with the actuators and RC units and such. More prone to failure than anything. You could see the pressure on him at times. Maybe they will bring Buster to his funeral. The beer before liquor episode. His face the morning of the last test I think was priceless. Also when he was actually hungover. A lot of the time TV hosts don't show that much humanity. Or at least that side. As far as MythBusters go, the vast majority of the myths ended up being something I'd never use or cool. Did you know that myth actually helped me understand drinking habits and their effects? One of the few myths they did that I actually think about on a monthly basis. That WHACHAAAAAAA! Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Quote. Edit flip the W and H. Jeff Peterson. Craig Ferguson may have had the idea, but Grant made him real so that Josh Robert Thompson could bring him to life. Without Grant, some of the greatest conversations in late-night TV could have never happened. Came here for this. Completely agree with your last sentence, Craig. Jeff Banner was always hilarious. Yes. I remember when Jeff made his premiere on the show. It was so amazing. I was heartbroken when I heard the news last night. Yes, this was going to be my answer too. His true enthusiasm for what he did, and his genuine smile that always conveyed how much fun he was having. I feel the same way. Not really a single thing stands out to me, except his pure, unadulterated and infectious joy of doing all the crazy stuff he smiling face did. Rip Grant. Literally everything about him. He made science look so fun, and was rightly an inspiration to many people. He totally flipped my view on science. He made science the coolest thing ever. He could make a robot to solve any problem imaginable, and it was amazing to watch. He was a true hero of science. He played Sulu in Star Trek Continues. A good man. I don't know why we keep losing good people like Imahara while complete pieces of us continue to draw breaths. I grew up loving MythBusters, but the one that really sticks out comes from White Rabbit Project. It's in their Superpowers episode when he gets hooked up to the Tesla coils and controls the electricity. The joy that he got from that was contagious. Any time that he was happy, it made me happy. I wish that Netflix would have picked the show up for a second season. But the fact that they didn't is alright. I heard about his death at 2 a.m. this morning and was saddened before falling asleep. But now I'm determined to encourage people to live with that joy. How much he hated the fish touching him and how much I related to that. My irrational fear of fish has gotten me made fun of multiple times in my life. It was very validating to see a Mythbuster of all people shared my fear. I found the clip driving while angry experiment. https://www.dailymotion.com/video/x2mp8nm 1244